But also, just on the subject of victories for this administration, this was an interesting one to me because it also goes to the heart not just of the issue of picking the wrong side of these things, but also the way certain parties tried to tip the scales in some of these elections that we've had. And Paramount Global, which is the parent company of CBS News, they've agreed to a $16 million settlement in a lawsuit brought by President Trump over 60 minutes deceptively editing an interview. Now, what tells me here is that maybe that they're less concerned about the editing, but that they're settling so soon, they're actually really concerned about the discovery phase, what going to trial would reveal about the way these left-wing news organizations worked to try and tilt the truth and try to deny Donald Trump a victory.
And James, that's an insight that a lot of people here in America are missing. A lot of people are saying, oh, they capitulated, they're scared of Trump, but they didn't realize the real reason. And I think you've hit the nail on the head. Discovery. In the discovery period, that's when, the opposition's lawyers get to look at the emails, get to look at the phone records, all of this stuff. And it's really incredible. I mean, this happens all the time in journalism. The mainstream media doing their best to get Democrats elected. This was just one of the few times we actually saw a little bit of what happened behind the scenes, because they released a clip as a tease that had one of the famous Kamala Harris word salads.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I assume, someone probably in the White House and the Democratic Party said, hey, can you change that? And by the time they aired it, they had actually deleted the word salad and had him asking the same question and her giving a different answer from another part of the interview. You rarely see how the sausage is made, so to speak. But in this case, you did. It was such an obvious example. And, this happens all the time. You just don't get to see it. But one of my favorite parts of this settlement is that apparently there's also going to be, worth in the mid-8 figures. So we're talking, tens of millions of dollars of advertisements and public service announcements that CBS is going to have to air on behalf of conservative causes. And we know that John Whitaker, who did that interview with Kamala Harris, was apparently teary-eyed when the settlement was announced in a staff meeting. I can only imagine his tears and the other liberal tears that are going to flow when CBS News is forced to air conservative PSAs. It's going to be great to see.
That is so fantastic. And I love that they are going to be forced to air the stuff that they don't want to air and have suppressed anyway.